In 2023, the European Union set a bold and historic target. By 2035, every new car and van sold across its member states must be zero emission. This sweeping regulation marked a turning point for the continent's automotive industry, signaling the end of an era dominated by gasoline and diesel engines. The message was clear: the future of mobility in Europe would be electric, and the countdown had officially begun. No more gasoline or diesel, just electric and, in some cases, hydrogen vehicles. The streets of Europe would soon be filled with silent, emission-free cars powered by batteries or clean hydrogen fuel cells. Charging stations began popping up in cities and along highways as infrastructure raced to keep pace with the ambitious timeline. The aim? To slash carbon emissions, improve public health, and lead the world in clean transportation. By making this commitment, Europe hoped to inspire other regions to follow suit, setting a global standard for environmental responsibility and innovation. This was a wake-up call for automakers: retool, retrain, and invest in electric technology, or risk being left behind. Factories that once built engines and exhaust systems now pivoted to batteries and electric motors. Workers learned new skills, and companies poured resources into research and development. Environmental groups hailed it as the end of the fossil fuel era for personal transport. For many, it was a long-awaited victory, proof that years of advocacy and protest had finally paid off. The announcement sparked celebrations and renewed hope for a cleaner, more sustainable future. The plan promised cleaner air, quieter streets, and the convenience of charging at home. Families imagined a future where their children could play outside without the constant hum of engines or the threat of air pollution. The shift to electric vehicles was about more than just technology. It was about improving everyday life. Billions were funneled into battery factories and EV platforms, with the 2035 deadline as the industry's North Star. Startups and established giants alike raced to develop longer-lasting batteries, faster charging solutions, and more affordable electric cars. The entire supply chain began to transform, from mining raw materials to recycling old batteries. Car companies, some eager and others reluctant, announced sweeping electrification strategies. Press conferences unveiled bold new models and ambitious roadmaps, while behind the scenes, executives debated how to balance innovation with profitability and consumer demand. The world watched as Europe prepared to lead the charge into a new automotive age. Other countries took note, considering their own timelines and policies, as the global race toward electrification accelerated. But as the 2035 deadline drew closer, cracks began to show in this ambitious vision. Questions arose about infrastructure, affordability, and whether the industry could truly deliver on its promises. The road to an all-electric future, it seemed, would be anything but smooth. Now, in late 2025, the EU's all-electric dream is facing serious doubts. Powerful member states like Germany and Italy, home to iconic car brands, are pushing back. They warn the 2035 deadline could devastate jobs and competitiveness, especially with fierce competition from China and Tesla. European automakers fear losing market share if forced to abandon combustion engines too quickly. The initial unity behind the ban has fractured, replaced by heated debate. The EU is torn between climate ambition and economic reality. Lobbying from industry giants has forced Brussels to reconsider the pace of change. The road to an all-electric future is proving far bumpier than anyone expected. For automakers like Volkswagen and BMW, the challenge isn't just building electric vehicles, it's convincing people to buy them. These companies have invested billions in new factories, retrained workers, and retooled their entire supply chains to prepare for an electric future. But even with all this effort, the road to mass adoption is proving far more complicated than expected. Electric vehicles remain significantly pricier than their gasoline counterparts, and for many consumers, that price gap is a deal breaker. Even with government incentives, the upfront cost of an EV can be daunting. Shoppers are also worried about charging infrastructure, battery range, and the long-term value of their investment. As a result, many are sticking with what they know: traditional gas-powered cars. Automakers warn that setting aggressive targets for EV sales could backfire. If new cars become too expensive or hard to sell, buyers may simply hold on to their older, more polluting vehicles for longer. This could undermine the very environmental goals these policies are meant to achieve, keeping high-emission cars on the road and slowing progress toward cleaner air. Meanwhile, Chinese brands are ramping up the pressure. Companies like BYD and NIO are flooding the market with affordable electric cars, offering more choices at lower prices. Their rapid expansion in Europe is forcing local automakers to compete, not just on technology, but on cost and speed as well. In response, European automakers are asking for more flexibility. They want the freedom to sell hybrids and use alternative fuels as a bridge to full electrification. These options, they argue, can help ease the transition for both consumers and the industry, buying time to improve EV technology and infrastructure. Their main argument is that the focus should be on reducing emissions by any means possible, rather than mandating a single technology. They believe a mix of solutions, electric, hybrid, and alternative fuels, will allow for a smoother, more inclusive transition that doesn't leave anyone behind. Plug-in hybrids, for example, can help consumers get used to electric driving while still offering the reassurance of a gasoline engine. This approach, automakers say, can protect jobs in the industry and keep factories running as the market gradually shifts. The industry is pushing for a range of options to meet the diverse needs of drivers across Europe. They warn that without this flexibility, European companies risk losing ground to foreign competitors who can adapt more quickly to changing market demands. The debate now centers on how to strike the right balance, pursuing ambitious environmental goals while also ensuring the economic survival of Europe's iconic car industry. Policymakers and automakers are locked in tough negotiations, each side weighing the risks and rewards of moving too quickly or too slowly. The risk is real. Move too fast, and Europe's car industry could stall, leading to factory closures, job losses, and economic pain in regions that depend on auto manufacturing. But move too slow, and Europe could fall behind in the global race for electric vehicles, missing out on new markets and the chance to lead in the next era of mobility. Charging infrastructure is a major roadblock. Many cities have new fast chargers, but rural areas and apartment dwellers are left behind. Without enough public chargers, millions can't realistically own an EV. Automakers argue it's unfair to mandate electric cars when the charging network is incomplete. The power grid itself needs massive upgrades to handle millions of EVs. Without investment in both chargers and the grid, the transition could lead to blackouts and frustration. The EU now faces a colossal engineering challenge. Building a reliable, accessible charging network is essential before any full ban can succeed. The auto industry isn't just asking for more time, they're proposing alternatives. Plug-in hybrids offer electric driving for daily commutes, with gasoline backup for longer trips. These hybrids can cut emissions now, even as infrastructure catches up. E-fuels, synthetic, carbon-neutral fuels, could keep combustion engines alive without adding new CO2. Germany is championing e-fuels as a compromise, and automakers like Porsche are investing in production. While expensive today, e-fuels could decarbonize millions of existing cars if costs fall. The industry wants hybrids and e-fuels recognized as part of the solution, not just a stopgap. This approach could preserve jobs and supply chains while the EV market matures. The future may not be all electric, but a mix of technologies working together. Environmental groups and EV-focused companies are furious at the prospect of delay. They argue the 2035 deadline is both achievable and essential for climate leadership. Plug-in hybrids, they say, often emit more than advertised because owners rarely charge them. E-fuels are criticized as inefficient and a distraction from real progress. EV companies warn that changing the rules now will chill investment and hand the advantage to foreign competitors. They insist the technology is ready and the charging network is growing. Delaying the ban, they argue, risks Europe falling behind China and the US in the EV race. For these groups, the deadline is a catalyst for innovation, not a burden. They see any backtracking as surrendering to industry pressure. The fight is now over whether Europe leads the clean car revolution or gets left behind. The EU isn't abandoning its green goals, but big changes are coming. As the world's largest trading bloc, the EU's decisions ripple far beyond its borders, shaping not just European streets but global automotive trends. Policymakers are now rethinking how to balance environmental ambition with economic realities and the needs of millions of drivers. One of the most likely changes is a delay of the full ban on new combustion engine cars, pushing the deadline to 2040. This extension would give automakers more time to adapt their production lines, invest in new technologies, and allow charging infrastructure to expand across the continent. It's a move designed to ease the transition for both industry and consumers, especially in countries where electric vehicle adoption has lagged. Emissions targets are also expected to be phased in more gradually, with interim milestones that let manufacturers adjust step by step. For commercial vehicles like vans, requirements could be softened, recognizing their crucial role in urban logistics and small businesses. This approach aims to avoid sudden disruptions while still pushing for cleaner air. Germany, a powerhouse of European industry, is advocating for sustainable materials to play a bigger role. If low-carbon steel and other eco-friendly components are counted toward emissions reductions, it could spark innovation in manufacturing and help traditional industries stay competitive in a greener future. To encourage the shift, expect a wave of new incentives, tax breaks for buyers, subsidies for automakers, and expanded support for companies switching their fleets to electric. Governments may also invest in public charging networks and offer grants for research into next-generation batteries and clean technologies. Special categories for small, affordable city EVs could be introduced, encouraging automakers to innovate and produce vehicles tailored for dense urban environments. These compact cars could make electric mobility accessible to more people, especially young drivers and city dwellers. Perhaps most significantly, e-fuels, synthetic fuels made from renewable energy, may receive official recognition. This would allow some new combustion cars to remain on the market, provided they run exclusively on these cleaner fuels. It's a compromise that could keep car enthusiasts and certain industries satisfied, while still reducing overall emissions. The result? A two-track system. Battery electric vehicles for the majority, and e-fuel-powered cars for specialists, rural drivers, or those with unique needs. This dual approach could help maintain consumer choice and support jobs in traditional automotive sectors. The compromise keeps the zero-emission goal on paper, but the path to get there is now more flexible and pragmatic. Policymakers hope this will unite member states with different priorities and economic strengths. The new rules will reshape the auto industry for decades, influencing everything from car design and manufacturing to how we fuel and drive our vehicles. Europe's automotive future is about to get a lot more complicated, but also more innovative, as the continent navigates the road to zero emissions in its own unique way. For drivers, the policy shift means more choices for longer. Gasoline, diesel, and especially hybrids will remain available well into the late 2030s. This benefits rural drivers, long-distance commuters, and those on tighter budgets. Expect a wave of new plug-in hybrids marketed as the best of both worlds. EV adoption will continue, but perhaps at a slower, steadier pace. Fuel taxes and city restrictions will still push many toward cleaner cars. The transition's uncertainty means you'll need to weigh your options carefully. The decision of what to drive just got more complex and more personal. The vision of an all-electric Europe by 2035 is now uncertain. The EU's U-turn highlights the tension between ambition and reality. The transition to clean transport is monumental, with no easy answers. The future will be a mix: small EVs, versatile hybrids, and some combustion cars running on e-fuels. For the environment, any delay means more CO2 on the road for years. Environmentalists warn this compromise could undermine climate goals. The debate now is about making sure new rules still drive real progress. The road ahead is winding with many forks and detours. The combustion engine, once destined for the museum, has a new lease on life. The journey to a cleaner future continues, messy, uncertain, and more important than ever.